It's a head scratcher. The U.S. housing market is in a real awkward position. Why? Let's talk about it. Well, the housing market is in a very strange position right now because a lot of people can't figure out how is it that interest rates go up, demand is now coming down, but home prices are still appreciation. It doesn't make any sense. So today we're going to dive into an article and talk about why this is and what's going to happen moving forward. So as crazy as it seems, June saw another increase in home prices. Again, we've seen price cuts from builders, we've seen some price cuts from home sellers, but overall, prices have continued to rise for the gazillionth month in a row. The median home price in June was $416,000, which is up about 13.4% from a year ago. Now, in simple economics, when prices get too high, that should soften demand, which should in turn force prices down. But that will take time, especially when the market is as white hot as it's been for the last 2 years. Now, right now, it's a pretty awkward moment when neither buyers nor sellers are happy. So I've been talking about this quite a bit as far as we went from white hot to red hot. That's where we are right now. We're red hot. We're not white hot where we're getting multiple offers within hours of putting a home on the market. We're still red hot. As much of a head scratcher as this is, it's still pretty hot. Now, where are these buyers coming from? We still have a lot of people that weren't able to get a home earlier in the year. Well, now that the competition is much less, now these buyers are still in the market. And remember, we had a shortage of homes. So a lot of those people who could not compete earlier in the year or at the end of 2021, well, now they have the opportunity to compete and actually look at a home and take their time because the demand is not quite the same as it was. But again, we're still very red hot as far as buyers go. We're just not white hot. So buyers have some time right now, which is a good thing. They don't have to feel rushed anymore, although there is still competition and homes are still appreciating just at a much slower pace. So let's take a look at why sellers and buyers may not be happy right now. Number one, mortgage rates are double what they were a year ago. The average mortgage rate stood around 5.5% last week. That's up from 2.8% a year ago. Secondly, inventory has improved slightly, but remains historically tight. Home builders are also slowing construction on new homes, understandably because they don't want to get caught with a huge slowdown in demand, and now they have a ton of homes that they can no longer sell or they have to discount quite a bit to get sold. The third thing is a lot of sellers are still being greedy when it comes to home prices. So sellers right now are still of the mindset that they can get over asking in every situation. They're supposed to get multiple offers, where that was happening quite a bit just a couple months ago. That window of crazy offers to now a more normalized market, that window, it's closed right now. And although real estate is very hyper local, there are some areas where I'm located in the Houston area and in Texas in general, where those markets are still very, very white hot. But overall, you see a lot more homes staying on the market longer, right? And so now buyers are of the mindset that we're no longer going to overpay for these properties. We're not going to give you a firstborn, a leg and an arm in order to get this property. We are willing to wait. However, the sellers in a lot of cases have still not changed their mentality as it relates to selling these homes. And that is where the frustration is coming in for both sides. According to a quote from Mark Zandi, who's a chief economist at Moody's, he says that sellers are still very reluctant to give up on the price they expected to sell just a few months ago. And as I mentioned, that window has changed quite a bit in the last 2 months. So sales are likely to continue to fall as these rates continue to increase. And the way the Fed is going right now, their solution for this crazy inflation that we're in, it's to continue to raise interest rates. So we're going to see more. Although we've saw a little bit of a breather the last couple of weeks, we're going to see these rates continue to increase as inflation continues to rise. It is the only way from a housing market perspective to slow down the market. It's to raise the rates, get sellers to realize this is a different market now. Just like that, the market's changed. We need sellers to realize the market's a little different. We need to be a little bit more reasonable with what we're asking for our home and not expect multiple offers within hours. I keep talking about this because this is the expectation that a lot of sellers still have. Buyers are no longer willing to participate in the insanity and craziness that we had in the first and second quarters of 2022. So according to Lawrence Young, who's the National Association of Realtors chief economist, he says a combination of higher prices and higher mortgage rates clearly has shifted the dynamics in the housing market. Even people who want to buy are simply priced out. Even though home sales have slowed back to a 2019 pace, the market remains head-scratchingly brisk, meaning homes are still selling at a much faster pace than a normal market. So although home sales pace has slowed down, homes are still selling at an average of around 14 days. That is about 3 days less than it was a year ago, but I don't expect that to continue. The market's going to shift. We need to get back to a normal market, which really is about 30 days. So having a home on the market for 30 days is very normal. Now, we know again, local. We're gonna see some neighborhoods that will continue to be very, very hot and will sell in less than 30 days. But overall, 30 days is a good expectation for sellers moving forward. We just need to change the mindset of a seller right now and just kind of temper their expectations as far as home sales go right now, because things are changing for the better. It's going to be a tough road getting to the other side, but in the meantime, homes will sell, buyers will buy. We all just have to shift our mindset just a little bit until we get to the other side of this. So question of the day, what is the average home price where you're located? Where are you located? What city are you in? And what are the average home prices where you're living? Comment below. So let me know your thoughts. I want to hear from you. And please, if you got any value from this video, guys, do me a favor. Share the video. Share, comment below, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the feedback. And remember, don't just make a move, make a power move. I will see you guys on the next video.